Ready?
Okay.
Welcome to Words Carry Us, an ongoing series of live stream events featuring readings and interviews from Greenkill in Kingston, New York. I'm Betty MacDonald, writer, storyteller, and host of Words Carry Us. Before I introduce our very special guest tonight, I'll begin the evening reading a little from my work. This first one is called Hey, Come See the Light. Hey, come see the light. Come see the light set yellow maple leaves aglow and grace the porch with dappled brilliance. Everything beyond the bird feeder is red, orange red, deep red. Red, red, the pond is greeny black. The ornamental pear tree waits till all the other trees are bare, and then transforming into deep burgundy overnight, the leaves desert their branches and fill the recently cleaned gutters. Titmice and chickadees and that other little bird take turns at the feeder when the doves and blue jays are done and fly away. Standoff with a blue heron. The heron start all over. The heron stalks silently at the edge of the pond. I slam the screen door, startled. She unfurls her sail-like wings and rises from the grassy bank. Hey, I yell as she takes off flying low across the pond. You, I shout. It's hard to know what words to use when a wild bird of prey, no matter how astonishingly beautiful, is stalking the koi. The truth is, she's probably focused on the frogs, which are smaller than the koi and have fewer sharp edges. After a 2-year hiatus, frogs returned this summer. I have missed their splashing as I approach and their night song. A turtle resembling a clump of dirt or a good-sized rock, the very opposite of the elegant blue heron, appears among the feeding koi. Mud and grass cling to its shell. Its featureless head reaches out, gulping fish pellets, each gulp a little splash. Standing defiantly on the other bank like a crane on an ancient Chinese scroll, the heron, an expert at hiding, takes one haughty step behind a leafy branch. I can see you, I start to yell. Or is that a patch of dappled sunlight? And I have just one more short one. This one I have, people asked for it. It's called procrastination. I've been in this room all day, lying on the couch, writing, watching videos, checking emails, eating, gazing into the refrigerator and at the shimmering heat outside the window. I binge-watched the end of a dramatic series about a woman who overcomes adversity, and a TED Talk on procrastination. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the first of my 3 wonderful guests, Steve Chlorfine.
Thank you, Betty. We decided to shake things up a little bit tonight and change around the way introductions go. So I'm going to introduce Mick, whether he likes it or not. So
Be kind.
it turns out that Mick and I actually knew each other in 1973 at SUNY New Paltz. I was the director of the Experimental Studies Department, which sounds very impressive until I tell you that I was the only one left who could do it. Everyone else had fallen out with everyone else. But Mick was part of a band of students who were really amazing to me. I hadn't really seen anything like that in my short life at that time. But it wasn't until much later that we really got to know each other through doing different kinds of gigs all around Ulster County. Memorably at Pauline Oliveras' Deep Listening Space, but at any number of other places as well. Mick told me a story the other day that I thought would be the best introduction I could give, which is he got a royalty check for his book Big League Poets, which was an impressive book, which at the time sold for $2.50, and he recently saw it on eBay for $500. So that's a little side event to that.
Only thing I've ever done that's actually appreciated in value.
So for that book, he got a royalty check from Ferlinghetti, the publisher of City Lights books, and he took it to the bank to cash it. And the bank teller looked at the check and said, "Ferlinghetti." She said, "I'll give you $200 for this," which she actually did.
Yeah, I sold my royalty check for twice its value. Don't know if it was ever cashed or not. But
Another case of appreciation, but it went into your pocket, which is really pretty good. So I'm going to turn it over to Mick, and we're going to begin with. Well, Mick will tell you how we're going to begin.
Well, I'm going to welcome my performance partner of 33 years up to the stage. Please welcome Gilles Malkine here. Oh, you're already here. Okay, so it is a fact that the names of every Chinese restaurant in the United States have exactly 2 words. And it's usually a noun and a modifier. Sometimes it's 2 nouns. And it's also a fact that all these restaurants draw their names from a pool of only 14 words. So we're going to show you how that works. This is called Walk Around the Block. We'll wait for the tardy ones to be seated. Okay?
Wait, there's someone else is coming.
Someone else coming in? Okay, walk around the block. Dragon Palace, Panda Palace,
Dragon Palace,
Szechuan
Palace,
China Palace, best walk, China Panda first walk,
China
Golden
Palace,
Duck,
best walk, China Panda first walk,
China Palace, best walk, China Panda first walk,
Peking Duck,
Palace,
Szechuan walk,
Palace,
Golden Palace, Jade walk, Golden Panda Duck walk,
Golden Palace, Jade walk, Golden Panda Duck walk,
Golden Palace, Panda walk, Golden Panda Duck walk,
Dragon
Panda,
Golden walk,
Panda,
Golden Dragon best duck, China Dragon first duck,
Golden Dragon best
walk,
duck, China Dragon
Golden
first duck,
Golden Dragon
walk,
best duck, China Dragon first duck, Dragon walk, Panda schmuck.
Oh, wait, that's cheating, man. So every one of those names was different, and it was only from 14 words, man. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to introduce Steve now. Okay, and I would say Steve has been a dancer, he's been a monk, he's been a dancing monk, and he's been a dancing monk with Meredith Monk. So He's the Roshi of Washington Avenue, and I always love performing with him. And he is going to read a series of poems at this juncture. Steve?
Thank you, Mick. So this is a couple of excerpts and then a couple of full pieces based on names, which I'm very fond of writing poems and prose pieces that have names in them. So this is part of a series called May Series. I tell the sixth graders about carpenter bees gathered at my front door, demon protectors who prefer the shady porch, who need to get inside things, and so they choose the overhang with its tender slats of cedar to honeycomb their shelters. Hoping the children take the hint and notice what's around them, I describe the dizzying circular buzz that greets me as I open the porch door, my momentary alarm until I remember the boundary between their life and mine. And this is another excerpt from a series called Utah Series. I begin again in Utah with the fourth graders. These children all shining, trying to be turtles, trying to be ancient, fooling everybody. I have boys named Merrill, Delano, Shane, Devin, Wade, Rory, Jedediah, Nathan, Jacob, Tyler, Logan, Ned, Isaiah, Garcia. Girls, Amber, Tess, Camille, Heidi, Alicia, Bree, Lindsay, Nichelle, Colette, Nicole, Season, Brandy, Shandy, Aubrey, Johanna. I feel used up, ready to be penetrated by anything, air, sun, bright color, some state of luxury, when the children ask, can a turtle cry? So, at the time I wrote this poem, those names were, they're mostly Mormon kids, and those names were pretty unusual to me. Now, every other kid I know is named one of those names anyway, Mormon or not. This is called Hidden in Water, and it's based on a trip to the little island of Dominica that Jenny and I made, it's many years ago at this point. We fly from Puerto Rico, but the plane can't land in Dominica. So we stop over at Guadeloupe, greedily eat baguettes, speak French, and wonder if we should have a vacation here instead. We're told to board, and we take off again, and again the plane can't land, so we turn back to Puerto Rico and spend a sorry night at a chain hotel with many unhappy companions. Arrive next bright morning at tiny airport on Dominica Island with sand beaches washed away by hurricanes. As the first days pass, we wonder, what's hiding in Dominica? Green tree iguanas flat against limbs and branches, stickfish, silver flying fish, Cicero parrots, blue wax and zelmouche, hummingbirds called fufu, tea-fufu, and fufu made. Augustus, Faye, Athy, Seraphin, Kendrick, Cletus, Myris, Barrington, Delia, and Jeanette among the 70,000 inhabitants of towns like Pointe Baptiste, Rosalie, Batebou, Capuchin, Girardel, Délices, with and without signposts. Alamanda, Châtaignier, Gommier, Ginger Lily, Snow on the Mountain, and Star of Bethlehem living in volcanic woodland soil. A company named Blow that markets citronella and bay tea bags. A sperm whale that makes the big dive just as my camera freezes. And the way you say whale in French, caché l'eau, hidden in water. Caché l'eau. This one's really from Mick. At his request. It's called Red Cloud. You sent a postcard, February 4th, 1990, a portrait of Red Cloud, Mahpia Shah, great Sioux and Cheyenne warrior, and stamped it with Ida B. Wells' Black Heritage Series, 25 cents. The photos of the Oglala Sioux chief taken in 1897, red cloud at 75, feathered headdress and bone vest, looking like someone you'd want to know, compressed wisdom on his lips, moving up furrows of skin to heavy-lidded eyes. The February doldrums are here, you write. I sit in a classroom, writing poems with sixth graders, a wonderland of snow outside the window, the firs dressed in it. Otsego County, New York, 13 years later, on the brink of war, wishing for a leader like Mahbia Shah Red Cloud, who could again hold back the cavalry. I suppose we could say every couple of years since 2003, a leader to hold back the cavalry. So I'm going to end this little set with a piece called Advertising This Small Paradise. And this is a reverie that I had after a real experience of going down the inland waterways in the state of Kerala in India on a slow ferry. Electric blue gulls soar low across the narrow beach, dive in shallows to grab leftover hibiscus garlands washed in by afternoon tides. Sailing the inland waterways with precision strokes, identical teams of women paddle pink canoes, silently dipping and stroking the water's surface, their long white braids dancing down their backs. On their laps, piles of minnows swim in pools of water, formed by folds in the women's coarse appliqued skirts. The women ululate joyously, overlapping waves of sound which cause the minnows to leap exact arcs, one at a time, into the women's open mouths. And then the women sing. There is no other satisfaction than to swim as a minnow inside a woman's mouth. There is no better satisfaction than to swim as a minnow inside the mouth of a woman. Thanks. Back to you, Mick.
Okay. So I'm going to read a couple of apostrophes. In poetics, an apostrophe is a poem that directly addresses either a concept or an object or an animal, something not human, as if it was a human being that you were having a conversation with. So this is To My Youth. Somehow, somewhere, you slipped through my fingers, never to be retrieved. At least, so I believed. Yet here you are this latter day, sporting a mischievous wink in the morning mirror, making me smile in spite of the arthritis, in spite of these defenestrating teeth, as if I could tussle your hair again and waste you, waste you, waste you, dear wanton boy who so enjoyed his dubious immortality while it lasted. And here's another one. The companion piece to that is To Old Age. You were with me in the womb, in the crib, the pram, and the playpen, but I barely gave you a nod, even as your budding shadow gradually advanced. That was you peeking over my shoulder through my wild and crazy teens, my vagabond 20s and industrious 30s, my troubled 40s and acquiescent 50s, still there in my suddenly stiffening 60s, and here in the derelict doorway of decay and dissolution. Well, I would have preferred a more limber companion with whom to pass the little time that's left. But then again, we've come so far together. Why not continue to share this creaky armature, to take scant shelter in the same crusty skin, to kvetch somewhat comically at the brink of the same abyss, to finish each other's sentences. We've come to echo each other so very well. Why not continue this tenuous tango until the flagging band takes 5 forever?
Dear body, first of all, thank you. I know it gets tougher on you. The natural course of thinning out, thickening up, tightening, chipping, stumbling, and most of all, forgetting. Nonetheless, capacity, even better understanding how the diminished parts work.
And another apostrophe, to inanimate objects that lurk in ambush. My war with you has been one of attrition. The knees I have painfully banged or scraped at the edge of the bench as it leapt into my path. The toes I have stubbed against peripatetic tables as I blindly groped to the bathroom at 3 a.m. How many cups have loosened my grip upon them and broken to pieces on tiled floors below? How many chairs, to all appearances innocent, that decided to collapse as I trustingly lowered myself to their embrace? Oh, so-called inanimate objects, you are animate and malign, getting bolder as we grow older and more at risk, attacking us with impunity and silverware, with mockery and gardening tools, with your full arsenal of paper cuts and dropped plates and tipped over wine glasses, until that day when we too become inanimate objects, with less volition than a pair of scissors, less dangerous flow than a flight of stairs.
I could live with little, but little by little all these years, so much has come to live around me, and I like it all. In the corner, the pew, the ones it was built for, the ones who sat upright on it, knelt onto red cushions and recited words they'd been taught. Before that, the wood, the tree, the sawyer, carpenter, hands that shaped the pew, the God in our hands. Gradually, I give up things, tennis racket, cross-country skis, baseball glove, that I won't dance again the way I remember myself. So I give up this and that, and even myself, becoming solicitous, felicitous.
Nice, man. This is a series of postcards home, 4 postcards that I've received. 1, the moon here is the cornerstone of an abandoned building. The stars, too, have fallen into desuetude. We camped by a river of broken glass and fished for whatever was left. 2, this would have been a statue of the great Buddha had I remembered to take the lens cap off the camera. Wish you weren't here as well. 3, you can see by the mediocrity of the statuary that the climb to reach this overgrown temple was hardly worth the effort, especially since yours truly no longer had a body to make the climb. 4, in case you can't tell, this card depicts a creche and a microwave. Greetings from sunny Bavaria. Okay, there's, I had eye surgery recently, and I'm in a little trouble with this here. But I still have these things, which I'm sure most of you have. It's called floaters. You got anybody have floaters? Yeah, okay. So I decided to write a poem about floaters. It's like gazing out from within a Jackson Pollock. Vitreous squiggles and collagen streamers and fluctuant arabesques across the sky, or bugs skittering at the peripheries of my vision, scuttling away whenever I try to focus on their microscopic swarms. Or possibly they are the blots on my escutcheon, soul stains, flecks of unsayable shame, karmic shadows haunting the eye and mind. So who invited these itty-bitty belly dancers to the feasts I feast my eyes on, now forever blemished by their dance? I did, says decrepitude. I in my mercy extended the invitation. Muddled by these retinal spots, you will not see what's coming. You're up.
So this is part of a series called Words. There are six of them. I'm going to read the three. First one is a translation from Homer that a friend of mine made. The waters fell asleep at midnight, not receding or raising their voice, but evidently and simply without warning, the waters close their waves, quiet the remaining ripples, and drift off. Praise the sea, the skiff, its mates inside their watery cosmology, gills and fine bones, puckered lips, evanescent skins. A sea of imaginary words washed ashore in alphabetical order, conjunctions swallowed by seahorses who expel glorious sounds, not mere gurgles, but seductive melodies.
Nice one, man. Nice.
This is, okay. This is words. My mother's slanted script on a yellow slip of Board of Education paper she's brought home from her classroom supply cupboard. One of the images of my childhood is these piles of yellow slips of paper that were stashed away and used for everything. Penciled note left on kitchen table, instructions for me to follow to get dinner ready after school. At 4:30, set oven to 350 for 10 minutes. Take dish covered in foil out of fridge, place on top rack, set timer for 30 minutes. When timer rings, turn oven off and leave dish on the rack. I'll be back by 5:30. And along with that, a snippet of a dream. An interviewer asks where I was born. I begin to answer when my mother interrupts. No, my mother says in a crisp tone. We were driving, and when I went into labor, we didn't go to the hospital. We went to the beach. You were born on the beach, which explains everything. The last one of the words series. Yeah. I think this is it, yeah. No, it's not. It's not it. Where is the last one of the words? I might have to skip that one because I can't locate it right now.
This is so unprofessional.
I'm actually very pleased to be in a conundrum of this kind at this moment. So
Improvise, Steve.
just have a great time along in the. Here it is. Words. Lush this July, verdant, wet, breezy. Simple poems sedate by day, but at night words fly wild like cumulus cloud, behave like specters in early morning when they refuse captivity. During meditation, I look down at my bare feet, which seem not to belong to me this morning. Couple more. Pocket tornadoes in the spinny wood, slice of maple, slice of spruce, slice of oak, massive bouquets of leaves everywhere. A friend brings watermelon. We speak about hummingbirds on geraniums, rabbits under the garage, a single porcupine quill on the front porch, snakes on the woodpile in morning sun. At night, fierce winds shake the house. By day, lies that show the truth, then dreams that submerge the horror until the next night. The same friend describes his 16-year-old son as desultory, and we're both unsure which syllable has the accent. All the same, we long for illumination. Certainly, it's still there in basements of Kharkiv and Mykolaiv, in hearts of women pregnant from rape, fathers, uncles, brothers gone astray. This is who we are, my friend says. We're just now coming out of the closet. This is a little gentler. The she is my wife, Jenny, who's here. It's midsummer, and next to an open window, she plays Schumann on the piano. Our carpenter friend Chaling stops banging, comes down the hill, and lies under the window to listen. Out west, near the Mexican border, windows in the children's detention center locked shut, and there is always a child wailing. How do we fit this country, land of the free for all, crowds of tears and blasphemy? House wren, nuthatch, titmouse, small migrants on their way about. We are constant gardeners amidst our own wreckage. So I want to end this set with another dream, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mick. Who shopped at S. Klein on the square on Union Square? Raise your hands high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4. That's about 1/3 of the audience.
What about if I shoplifted there?
Then you count as 2. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. S. Klein on the square. Rolled up under my arm, I carry an oriental carpet. Intermittently, I put it down, sit on it, contemplate nomadic issues. Will the carpet serve me in all climates and terrains? What if I have to haul it up a mountain? What if it gets wet and it won't dry out? My mother walks in front of me. She's wearing a black dress with an eyelet pattern, eyelet stitched in silver, and lime green satin lining. Both high heels dangle from her right hand like Sophia Loren in Two Women. I follow my mother, knowing she is complicit in this journey, but uncertain why we've set out or where to. It's like going shopping with her as a child, up the hill of shops on Broadway to the BMT subway line, above ground to Queensboro Plaza, then underground forever to Union Square. Finally, at the 14th Street stop, skirting Union Square Park, and into S. Klein on the Square department store basement, past bins of women's underwear and brassieres. My mother tugging me along to women's dresses. Is the black dress with eyelets and lime green satin lining one she picked off the rack at S. Klein on the Square? How unlike her to wear something so good on a journey like this. I remember then that the oriental carpet has a long story to it, and I resolved to stay present to follow the dream along. We are and we are not who we are. We are going back in time, back to shtetl forebears in the Pale of Belarus, going from place to place on dusty roads. But why the high heels? Why the black dress? In the end, are we Italian after all? Mother and son sit together on the carpet, its border of blue grapes and mother's bare foot stretched out across a delicately woven blue-green vine. There is bread and, oddly, peanut butter. Might there also be in mother's patent leather purse a wedge of salami wrapped in wax paper?
Nice, man. And I'm going to close before our grand finale. Well, actually, Steve's going to do a couple more. I've been writing a lot of formal poems lately, and sonnets especially. I've written about 50 sonnets in the last couple of years. I'm going to read 3 of them to close my part of this set. This one is, I'm sorry, who did you say Mnemosyne was? At 66, my memory once vaunted, well, I got to start again. That was several years ago. Let's get my true age in here. At 72, my memory once vaunted is showing signs of likeness to a sieve. I can't recall the many things I counted as something central to the life I live. No choice but to embrace the slow erasure, forgetting Susan's name and Cecily's, forgetting what I used to do for pleasure, forgetting where I put the fucking keys, forgetting to turn off the running water, forgetting which big firm my daughter heads, forgetting often that I have a daughter, forgetting when and how to take my meds, forgetting when that lass and I got married, forgetting even how to end a sonnet. Okay, here's a nice one. This is The Books, written in my studio. Over the years, a momentary slant of afternoon sunlight gilding the spines of poetry, novels. The eyes decant these books, bound flagons of mellowing wines. Kafka's America, Kennedy's Legs, bouquet of de Beauvoir and Jean Genet, Shakespeare, Nabokov, we drain to the dregs, then pop the black cork on a Pinter play. But all too soon the afternoon's amber to indigo fades on shadowy shelves. The books turn inward, becoming somber, mysterious even unto themselves. Who knows what secret wine the books contain when light to drink them by does not remain. And I'll finish here with Sonnet for Carol. After the cruise 12 miles out, where breaching whales with huge elan turned everybody on the boat to wide-eyed, wondering kids again. And after dining on Yankee chowder with 2 old friends in Gloucestertown and parting at the crepuscular hour, we took a sea road winding down to whitely wavering ghosts of sedge and ruins off the beaten track, where perched upon a crumbling ledge, I watched you down there from the back and saw you barely perceptibly shiver and knew I'd love you then forever. Thanks. You got a couple?
Yeah.
And then we'll get Gilles back here for the grand finale. All right.
We meet again. We meet again over coffee, over scotch, over time and time again. Make beauty out of nothing, as if nothing ever happened before this. I think of you in your touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. I think of you in your touch and go.
I think of you.
And we dream dreams.
And we dream dreams in your touch and go.
I think of you in your touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. I think of you in your touch and go. And we dream of traveling places. I think of you in your touch and go.
In your dreams of touch and go.
Touch and go.
Traveling
I think
places.
of you in your touch and go.
I think of you.
I think of you in your touch and go.
Of touch and go.
And we speak.
And we speak
of things to come.
Of things to come.
I think of you in your touch and go.
Touch and go.
Touch and go.
Touch and go.
I think of you in your touch and go.
I think of you.
And we touch and go.
And go. Hey, we didn't rehearse that.
You were at first reluctant.
I know. I was shy. I was being shy. People don't realize I'm very shy.
Yes. Is
Okay, so we're going to finish with a piece. In the 19th century, sailors had what they called sea shanties. They were songs that were geared to the rhythm of the work on a boat. And there would be a leader calling out the line, and then everybody answers, call and response. And the thing that I've been a student of sea shanties for many years, but I discovered something that not many people know about, that there are Buddhist sea shanties. So we are going to sing a Buddhist sea shanty. This is probably the only time you will ever hear this. Okay, we ready, guys? Me begging bowl is out of rice. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. Some tofu sausage might be nice. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. Oh, me salty chakras. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. We meditated through the storm. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. For emptiness is void of form. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. Oh, me scurvy chakras. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. Life is pain caused by desire. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. So we just suffer and expire. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. Oh, me broken chakras. Go down, you bodhisattvas. Go down. What shall we do with the drunkens and monk? What shall we do with the drunkens and monk? What shall we do with the drunkens and monk? Nothing. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
We want to thank Greenkill for being here and for everything they do here. And this is really the purest artist space I know of, is this place. And how about some applause for them and for David? And Steve, do you have books?
Yeah, so Mick and I have
We have books and CDs
and
back there if
CDs, and
anybody wants to be
your book
foolish
is-
enough to.
Your book is
This
new,
is
isn't it?
a brand new book. It's published by Station Hill Press. It's called Slapstick Gravitas, and I also have our last the last CD I recorded with Gilles is also here. A Poor on Tour and over 64. So
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mikhail. Thank you, Gilles. This was a wonderful show. What a pleasure to have you here. My guests tonight have been the multi-talented Steve Clorfine, Mikhail Horowitz, and Gilles Melking. Works by Edward Burkheis, Karen Copabianco, and Wayne Montecavo are currently on exhibit in the gallery here at Greenkill. And they will be here until October 29th. Exhibition viewing hours are from 3 to 5:30, Tuesday through Saturday. Next month, my guest will be artist and director of the art education program at the State of New Jersey, the State University. I'm so excited about this show, I can't read. Let's go back. Next month, my guest will be artist and director of art education program at the State University of New York at New Paltz, Andrea Kantrowitz. Andrea will introduce her book, Drawing Thought, How Drawing Helps Us Observe, Discover, and Invent. Located at 2... I'll be done in a minute, Meg. Okay. Oh.
natural break there.
You'll know. You'll know when I'm done. Okay. Located at 229 Greenkill Avenue in Kingston, New York, Greenkill is a public arts performance and education space. For information about exhibitions and live stream events, check out Greenkill on Facebook or email us at 229greenkill@greenkill.org. As always, we are grateful to David Schell, who organizes, directs, and makes things happen here at Greenkill. And thanks to you and our live stream audience for tuning in and finding us on, where were we? Finding us on YouTube. And thanks, so much thanks to our audience here in the gallery tonight. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here. I hope you've enjoyed Words Carry Us for September 18th, 2022. I am your host, Betty MacDonald. Greenkill, out.